Dan was talking about how much he likes the front end of this car. What do you like about it?
No buck teeth.
No. Okay.
No buck teeth.
I just said, before they made the G, I was like, how are they going to top this? And they didn't.
This is a 2016 M4 convertible. Pretty nice. We haven't had many F83s. We've had F80s, we've had F82s. This is one of the first F83 M4s. So 3-piece hardtop, as you can see coming back down here, shared with the E93, the 3 Series hardtop that we've had. BMW had that system for a long time. They're very robust, very few issues, if at all. We've had close to 100 of them. One of them we've had to realign, 2 have had leaks, that's it. Super robust. Anyhow, welcome. Secure orange interior, DCT, gray exterior. Beautiful, beautiful car. Has executive package, has the M adaptive suspension on it. So it's got heads-up display, backup camera, self-dimming mirrors, home link, nice little wind shade in the back. It's a 16 M4 Vert with 72,000 miles, owned locally and is now here. Wicked car. Tons of power from the S55. The dual clutch system is stellar strong. It's neat. I like how they carried over the speed hump on the hood. Tons of good design characteristics on the F generation. And when one of these comes up behind you, it just looks super mean. 2016 M4, 72,000 miles, now listed for $31,995.
All right, so we had a customer bring in his car to get some repairs done. He brought it in for timing chains, and we scanned it for faults, and we found a couple other issues. It had a bad oil pump as well. Some of the things that I did talk to the gentleman about were things like a belt that we are taking off. So we're gonna go ahead and replace his belt, but we're not gonna charge him labor because there's overlap. But there's quite a few jobs here, or quite a few things that we can do while we do this job that is a lot of overlap, such as engine mounts. We're doing the engine mounts. That saves the guy like $600 in labor. Just a couple little stupid odds and ends things that help the guy. So let's pull the valve cover off and see what we find. I have a feeling it's gonna be a disaster. Let's see what we find. So if you come over here, you can see this guide is broken. I don't know if you can see where my finger's pointing, but that guide is supposed to come over here and attach to that. So there's chunks of the guide down in the oil pan. Yeah, so that's where they break. I don't know if you can see it. But that thing goes, this thing goes. So we're gonna go ahead and start pulling this thing apart and get it good for the guy.
Question of the week. You got $50,000. What BMWs are you buying? 50K, what BMW are you buying?
E9. Ooh, that's an excellent answer.
That's definitely, yeah, that's strong.
50K. Well, in real life, I've done it a few times. I got my S54 ZHP, the E38s. My wife's got the 2019 X5. But if I have 50K in my pocket today and I had to go out and buy a car, it'd be an N55 M2, 6-speed, 30K. I'd probably find like a good 15K ZHP daily driver, really nice sedan, like ready to roll, like doesn't need anything. And then for the extra 5K, I'd probably buy like a E46 like John's and just boost it to the moon until it blows up.
Just dog it.
Just dog it,
eBay turbo.
Yeah, oh yeah, it's gone.
All right. John, question of the week. You got 50K to spend on a BMW. What are you buying?
I'm gonna buy E90 M3 6-speed, and then I'm gonna, was part of the money, I'm gonna get 2. And then I'm gonna get a 2016 Astoro Blue F30 with a B58 and a 6-speed manual.
So an F-Gen 340.
Yeah.
You got 50K to spend on BMW. You can't buy a Lamborghini Murcielago SV. Stop it.
I know, it's a shame. I think for like a good like daily cool car, I'd have an E34 540 6-speed M Sport. Probably not a very nice one, but one nonetheless, and then an S52 M Coupe to have fun on the weekends with.
Nice. Yeah. No surprise there.
Yeah.
What should I do, man? Z4M Roadster for a toy and I'm struggling. I had this. I think I'm going Z4M Roadster for a toy because I need an S54. And then I'm torn, man. Daily driver, 540i, B58. I like those a lot. Cheat code, B58. Comfortable. That's it. So you've seen us talk a lot about the E46 M3 chassis. We love the two-door coupe and the convertibles. You've seen us do a lot of work and maintenance on the big three, the 6-speed swaps, all that. The F80 has its place, that generation. It's fast, it's lovely. But let's talk about another generation M3 that, frankly, up until recently, just started increasing in value, and for good reason. We have a 2009 E92 M3 here. Now, this is slowly becoming, and for a lot of people, this is slowly becoming my favorite, if not top 2 favorite M3 generation. The E90 M3 was introduced 2007, ran from 08 up until 2013. They had 3 variants, right? You had your E90, your 4-door sedan. This is an E92. This is your coupe, your 2-door. Your E90 was your 4-door, and your E93, which you hear us talk about a lot, is your 3-piece folding hardtop. Of the 3 variants, the E92 and the E93, the E92 being the #1, but the E93 was the second most produced model, followed by the E90, the 4-door sedan, which was by far the least amount made. They came in 2 different options for your transmission. You had a dual clutch, a DCT, which was obviously the first for BMW. It was revolutionary. I remember when it came out, it was a big thing. The 6-speed manual, obviously with the ZF, was also available. So you had either choice of a DCT, dual clutch, automated gearbox, and you also had the 6-speed manual. The sedan was only produced between 08 and 11, which was the final year. Meanwhile, the convertible and the coupe continued to be made up until 12 and 13. They had a competition variant similar to the E46 M3, which was available for the final 3 years of production. Pretty neat car. Competition package, much like the E46 M3, gave you a couple different things. It came with a different set of wheels, so the highly popular Y-spoke CSL style wheels, a 10mm shorter spring height, so it sits a little lower, and then some pretty trick advancing dampening activity. Each one of the E90 M3s, and we'll go through the interior, had a power button similar to the M3 Sport button of the E46 generation, which basically limited throttle response. But pretty remarkable car. It was BMW's swan song, if you will. The way I think of it is it's BMW's swan song to the naturally aspirated era. Because after this, you went to the F and G gen, which are turbocharged. It is that mark in the sand of time where this was the only and ever will only be V8 M3. This is it. And it's a high revving V8. A lot of people complain that you have to rev the car out forever and ever. Well, yeah, that's the magic of it. Similar to the S54, this has an over 8,000, 8,400 RPM redline. You're gonna have to rev it out to get its power out of it. But that's the event, that's the magic of it. From 1,500 RPM all the way up to 8, it sounds pretty friggin' awesome. Let's dive in a little bit. If my memory serves me right, for the E90 M3, there were a plethora of individual colors. You had black, alpine white, which are the 2 solids, and then you had 12 or 13 metallic colors, tons of M Heritage colors, tons of unique colors, tons of individual colors. So finding an E90 M3 in a metallic color, if you're a color nerd like I am, is pretty simple. It's hard to find something we don't like about the E90 M3. So underneath the hood, now similar to other M models, and the reason why BMW brought back a 4-door M3 is because in North America with the E36 M3, you obviously had a 2-door and a 4-door example. The 4-door example sold so well, they went to the next generation E46 M3, and you only had 2-door. People wanted to see a 4-door M3 come back, hence the E90. So anyhow, underneath the hood, this is BMW's V8, the S65. Similar, very, very similar. It's not the same, but it's very similar to the S85 with 2 cylinders chopped off. It's a naturally aspirated 4-liter V8, revs out high as we've already discussed. Just like the S54, you have individual throttle bodies on both sides. And that comes to our first point of maintenance. So with the E46 M3, you have the big 3, right? In addition to everything else, you have the big 3 items, your connecting rod bearings, your vanos, and your rear subframe. On the S65, 2 main items, throttle actuators and connecting rod bearings. Once again, BMW did not, and they found it over time, allow enough tolerance below the connecting rod bearings, so they are a maintenance item. We've seen connecting rod bearings come out of cars with very low miles that are worn, and we've seen ones with higher miles, over 100,000, that come out and they look okay. If you're buying an E46 M3 or any M3 for that matter, especially an E90 M3, you have to go into this with the fact that whatever service, whether it be $3,000, $4,000, or $5,000, it's a fraction of what the car costs. Relative to what the car costs new and what the car can do, $2,000 to $3,000 every 100,000 miles for rod bearings. It's part of today's entertainment. Underneath this massive intake, you have 2 rows of individual throttle bodies. It's part of why you get that really nice sound. Controlling each of those banks are throttle actuators. Throttle actuators have a mechanical and electrical component to each of them. More often than not, folks will get a DSC light, the car will go into limp mode, they'll have a rough idle. There's a couple of different plastic gears inside, step gears, that wear through time with vibration. They crack, they rub up against each other. Check out Bison Systems, who arguably makes the best components for Vanos overhauls, for throttle actuator rebuilds. If you ever want to go into a 54-page summary on why they break and how to replace them, go to Bison Systems. You can literally do this DIY yourself. Over time, throttle actuators have become pretty affordable, let's be honest. DIY rebuild kits have become affordable. You can buy the kits already pre-made done with a core warranty and all that. You can buy the kit yourself and try to do it yourself. Once the intake comes off, it's fairly easy. It might take a couple days, really long weekend, a few drinks, you'll be good. The components that go, the gears, can be replaced themselves. That's simple. You replace them with the part that never fails, a metal gear. Odometer gears, Bison Systems, there's tons of information and videos out there. The electrical component side can fail too. A brand new VDO throttle actuator from FCP with a lifetime warranty is just over $600 at this point. So all in total combined, $1,200. I think Bison Systems, last I checked, were $300 to $350 for the rebuild kit with the swap. Save a few $100 and go with a kit and DIY. All in all, it's really not that bad. More concerning is the connector rod bearings. That, when they go, yeah, you can have catastrophic engine failure. Other than that, cooling system components, normal maintenance items, valve cover gaskets, valve covers can warp. There's been a lot of development recently in the cam covers on the underside, filter housing, pulleys, etc., etc. Again, if you own an E90 M3, just go into it with, I've got $3 to $5 grand on hand at all time. Compared to a 328 or a 335, exterior-wise and cosmetics, that's where it ends. So the E90 M3 generation, they bring over the speed hump. You have 2 vents in the top, and then this is a lightweight aluminum hood. You have some composite fenders on the side to save weight. The V8 is shoved as far against the firewall for weight handling purposes, as you can imagine. Outside of that, bodywork is completely different. Steering geometry, rack and pinion with Servotronic. Your front and rear subframes are completely reworked, so similar to the E46 M3. Yeah, it shares some commonalities on the interior of an E90 328 or 335, but on the underside it's completely different, let's be honest. The rear diff is where all the magic happens. On the rear end, the rear diff is a mechanical rear differential. It is a combination of clutch packs with also some friction and some fluid to make the magic happen. On the interior, now xenons were standard. A lot of the premium package components that you would get in a 320 or 335 come standard. You get the upgraded Novilo leather. So this is a premium smooth grain leather. Much later models, the LCI, you could get a 2-tone, so you'd have a black with a colored interior insert similar to the E93 that we have, Sam IAMs. As you can see, this one's a 6-speed, and it looks very similar to an E90, right? And similar to the predecessor M3 models, it's a unique pair of seats, it's a unique armrest, it's a unique steering wheel, and an upgraded headliner. And that's what makes it special. You don't have to change much when you start at baseline with a really good car. This one, for instance, this is an 09, just under 100,000 miles. Space Gray on Fox Red, rear park distance control, premium package, cold weather, and that's it. So like we talked about, between the 2 transmissions, the 6-speed variants obviously are more rare. They made twice as many dual clutches as they did 6-speed examples. If this were an E90 4-door with a manual transmission, it's a pretty rare bird. If you had the dual clutch transmission, the dual clutch transmission units on these are extremely robust. They're very reliable. Maintenance, typically, there's a set interval that we recommend servicing the fluids, so fluid changes. There's 3 gaskets on the dual clutch transmission. And I think FCP really does a good job of breaking down some common maintenance items in the E90 M3. There's a good video on the dual clutch transmission by them. There's 3 main gaskets that we commonly see leak. At the top, right at the top of the transmission, which requires it to be dropped, there's an O-ring that'll leak. The side on the mechatronics unit that controls the dual clutch, the brains of the unit, that has a gasket. And on the underside, there is a transmission pan gasket as well. Typically at the 100,000 mile mark for dual clutches, we recommend a fluid change as well as all 3 gaskets preemptively. Other than that, the dual clutch units are pretty incredible. Compared to the SMG from the E46 generation, it's a marvel. And yeah, so those are some of the reasons why the E90 M3 generation It is the first, only, and last naturally aspirated V8 M3 that they will make. The step into the dual clutch transmission marked a line in the sand. Goodbye naturally aspirated, hello turbo, and obviously the dual clutch technology that we find everywhere today on modern sports cars and supercars. But really an incredible car. These cars are continuing to go up in value, and I think if you have a 6-speed with low miles, they'll continue to rise in value. But I hope that gives you a little background on the E90 M3. We dive into each of these models as much as we can, but I hope somebody got something out of that. And if you are in the market for an M3, highly recommend driving E46, E90, and F-Gen. Each of their own flavor for sure. But my opinion, the E46 and the E90 with the high revving engines that they have, you can't beat it. Thanks for watching, guys. And if you own an E90 M3 or have had owned an E90 M3, comment below. What do you think? Did you like it? Were you surprised by anything? And what did you like most? If you've had other M3s, did you like another one better than this one? Overall, really incredible car. It's amazing that, we keep coming up with higher and higher horsepower numbers for the street. But E90 M3, really cool. Thanks for watching.
Thank you guys for watching the video. If you guys are nearby, come check me and Dave out. We go to Triangle Fellowship Church in the Morrisville area. And if you're nowhere near us, we just encourage you to find a church near you. And looks like we got some more videos over there. So why don't you go ahead and check those out. We'll see you over there.